Good evening, Second Baptist, and welcome to Family Check-In. We're really grateful and thankful for your time sharing with us tonight. We want to welcome Kim Mobley and May Lawrence and Warren and Aaron Johnson and Sister DeBose. Welcome tonight to Family Check-In. We got a really good program for you tonight as this is Educators Appreciation Day, and so we've got educators on. Sister Days is not with us today. She says since this is Educators Day, she's staying home and working on her schoolwork. And so I left her right at the table, my wife's been teaching a long time, and she still does new lesson plans every week. I don't get it, but maybe that's what they're supposed to do. But thank you, honey, for all that you do, and great, fantastic teacher you are. But we're really thankful. We do want to remind you all, get your watch parties going. Let everybody know that we're on. We got, as I said, we got a real good program. Since it's Education Appreciation Day, we've got principals on. I used to be called into the principal's office a whole lot when I was in school, and now I got them here on the program, and so we're really thankful for that. And we've got Sovereign Avenue represented, Pennsylvania Avenue represented, and we have Atlantic City High School represented, and in the house also is Dr. Chapman from Pleasantville High School, and I was right on time because Reverend Dr. Peterson is on, and so I just wanted to know that his alma mater is represented tonight. We also want to thank Brother Jarvis for watching as well. And I just want to remind you, we had next Sunday is Back to Church Sunday, and we invite all of you to come back to church and celebrate with us. I know you've been watching since the pandemic, 3 years on the virtual space, but it's nothing like being at home, and so we just want to remind you all to come and share. We also want to remind you that I know it just went out of my head, but we're gonna I'll come back to me before late. Do want to let you know we had a really good time in service today as we had celebrated our educators, and we had so many come this morning, and it was really, really good to see so many of our educators. And we still missed a few, but we want you to know that we appreciate all that you do and the great work that you do. We want to commend you and celebrate who you are and the great sacrifice you make for education. We're going to come back really quickly. Right after we have a selection of the power team. They did a wonderful job this morning at 11 o'clock, but also Brother Jennings did a wonderful job at 8 o'clock. But after selection, we'll be right back with our principals.
Sing your praise, for you've done such a marvelous thing for someone so wretched, yet my soul you have redeemed. No one else could do it. No one could care half as much. Yet you thought my soul was worth it. Ooh, so you gave your only son.
Your life for mine.
accomplishments. Ooh.
Even the good work you have begun in me.
You also see my finish. No, not half done. Every battle already won. So I can't help but praise you, Lord, for the marvelous things you've done.
That I might live.
And you gave so that
I might be
and then you exchanged
your life for mine.
What a marvelous thing.
What a marvelous thing.
Oh Lord, you gave. Oh yes, you did.
I might
You gave your life. Yes, you did. Just so that I could be set free. And then you gave.
exchange your life
It should have
for
been me.
mine.
What a wonderful thing.
What a wonderful thing.
What a glorious thing. Yeah.
What a glorious thing.
Yeah. What a marvelous thing. Yeah.
What a marvelous thing.
You've done.
It's marvelous. 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 So marvelous.
When you saved me,
It's marvelous.
it was marvelous.
Marvelous.
When you delivered me,
Marvelous.
it was marvelous.
So marvelous.
And then you changed me.
It's marvelous.
You rearranged me.
Marvelous.
You set me free.
Marvelous.
Free from sin,
So
Lord.
marvelous.
I say, yeah.
Yes.
Yes,
It's
Lord.
marvelous.
You even broke those chains. Chains that had me
So
bound.
marvelous.
Hey, you broke those chains. Yes, chains that had me bound.
It's marvelous.
And then you placed my feet on solid ground. I said, yeah, it's marvelous.
It's marvelous.
Oh,
Marvelous.
yeah. It's marvelous.
Marvelous.
Oh, yes it is, yes it is, yes it is. It's a miracle. It's incredible. It blows my mind. Oh, you took nothing, Lord, and you made something out of it. What a wonderful thing.
What a wonderful thing.
What a glorious thing.
What a glorious thing.
I'm sorry, I apologize. I was just looking at my daughter. She was looking mighty busy up there singing. With those shades on and that dress, I just had to, it's funny. I'm sorry. She was looking good though. She was looking good, sounding good. That's her voice. She got a style. My daughters have their own style, Bria, and man, they need to do their own line. But we're really grateful and thankful for all of you. For joining in. We are really excited today for who we have. And we've got 3 principals, and they've been talking in between. I couldn't even enjoy the song because they were just talking school stuff. And so they're really eager and ready to come and share with us. And so we're going to hear from them. They're going to introduce themselves, the school that they are from, and because we have so much time, we're going to put it all on them. And they're going to tell us how long they've been in the school district and all those good things. So welcome, principals, to Family Check-In.
Thank you for having us.
Hello.
So my name is Erica Woody. I'm the assistant principal at Pennsylvania Avenue School in Atlantic City. This is my 3rd year at Pennsylvania Avenue School, but my 18th year in the Atlantic City School District.
Erica, you don't even look like you're much older than 18.
Thank you.
That's
Thank you.
amazing. You know, those kids, it must be keeping you mighty, mighty young.
They are.
Okay, next.
Good evening, family. My name is Nicole Williams, and I am the principal of Sovereign Avenue School. I have been at Sovereign Avenue School. This is my 4th year, but I've been in the district since 10 years, and I've been in education for 17 years.
Well, you know, you've been with us before. This is the first time with us in person, but you've been with us during the pandemic, and we were on Zoom, so it's really good to have you and be with you in person. And here's the woman with the glasses.
Good evening, church family. Mandy over here. I am the principal at Atlantic City High School. I've been at Atlantic City High School for 3 years, and prior to being at Atlantic City High School, I was in Pleasantville for 13 years. So very excited to be with you tonight. And I blame my husband for my glasses today. I just saw how much of a distraction I was in church. I had on stripes and colors and the stripes in my glasses, but I didn't look in the mirror this morning. And if you follow me on Facebook, you see that I have like 45 pairs of glasses. And he did not tell me to change my glasses because I was too busy this morning. So blame him for that. But that was a good laugh.
No, just wear basic black, and you'll be fine. Look at my glasses. I just, 1 or 2 pair of glasses, all of them look the same. So, that's good. But, we're really excited to have you on, especially as we celebrate educators and show our appreciation. We thank you, and I hope you got the gift basket that we had. Did you get your gift baskets?
I did.
One person, so we owe you a gift basket. There might be some here left today. We had so many turn up today. We put together the most fabulous gift baskets that anybody could ever want. We got some snacks, seaweed snacks. I know y'all want some seaweed. It's healthy for you, give you all that energy and vitality to work and deal with our kids. Sharpens your brain. So now, you're back in school from the pandemic, and we know there was quite a challenge not only for Atlantic City School District and Pleasantville School District, but school districts across the country. So how is it when the kids are coming back now, and how is it being back in person? I know you went from a hybrid schedule, and now that's all out, and now you're, everyone's back, and you're trying to. I'm assuming you're trying to play catch up and bring people back to speed and get them where they need to be academically as soon as you possibly can. So each one, tell us about it.
So I can start. It's just great to be back in the building with no mask requirement. Some students still do wear a mask, but it's not required, so that is a great thing. And the uniforms policy is back, which also brings some normalcy back to the building. And we love it. We absolutely love it. It feels good. It feels normal again.
I'll jump on top of that and just say at the high school, it has been so awesome to have the students back in the building. I have the pleasure of seeing our students in school and out of school, living in the community in Atlantic City. So just to have them in that building again. I mean, like Nicole said, we're trying to get back to normal as much as possible. Some students do still wear their masks. Some teachers, many of the teachers still wear their mask as well. So it is optional at the high school. our theme is expanding our reach. So expanding our resiliency, our empowerment, our advocacy, our character, and our humility in every way. So one of the things that we noticed after the pandemic, we needed to really focus on social emotional learning, just making sure that our kids were okay. They experienced a lot during the pandemic. And so we put a lot of things in place for our students. So I'm just very excited to have them back in the building.
And I'm excited as well to piggyback off of Mandy. Social emotional learning is such a big deal, and the district has implemented this year. We have social emotional learning coaches in all of our buildings. I think that's such a positive thing for our staff because they need it as well as the students. And our coach, she's been really getting into the classrooms, talking to the children, making them feel at ease, and even some of our staff members who need that, getting back into the building, being back to quote unquote normal without having the mask. And of course, it's optional. All the children are back in the building now. The classrooms are back to normal size. We don't have a quarantine room anymore because during the pandemic, that was something that we had to have. So it's just really getting back to normal. And, it could be a stressful time for some, especially people that have anxiety about, everything because, it's still out there, some of the sicknesses and diseases. So some people are a little on edge, but the students are really happy to be back. And I'm so excited to have them back in the building.
I was going to ask that question. How are the kids making the adjustment being back in school and being around their fellow students? What's the atmosphere like?
I can say for us, the kids are super excited. We have now 2 lunch periods instead of I think we had 5 or 6 before. During that time, they spend a lot of time socializing with their peers. One of the things that I have personally noticed is that kids need some assistance with that. They're accustomed to not talking a lot or text messages and being online. So we're trying to get them accustomed to talking to each other, working through conflicts together. But it has been so cool seeing them come back into the building and interact. It's been awesome.
Absolutely. And even on our level, the elementary level, the students, just to see their faces again, without the mask, is like, oh, wow, that's you underneath that mask, the masks are gone. But again, we have to work on that self-confidence and the social piece, because I do see they're not, they might not participate as much. They're used to that mask and kind of hiding behind the mask
in the
hoods. And now that we're asking them to get more acclimated to socializing and to participating without having the mask and things like that. So it is an adjustment period, but our students are resilient and they are working towards the best.
And they're smiling a lot. I've noticed they seem to be extremely happy.
Yes.
But can I jump in just before Erica come? Because, I'm a big mask wearer. I go to places and I'm the only person to wear a mask. And really, I found over these last years there's a sense of security with the mask. I can make all the faces I want. When people say stuff, and people say some things, and I'm one of those persons that react to. You can see how I feel on my face, and it's been a relief that I don't have to kind of keep that poker face. I can have that expression behind the mask. When somebody says something really off the wall. Do you find that's almost a security blanket for the kids for 3 years?
I definitely say it's a security blanket, but for us, it's important for us to see those faces because we need to know that you're okay. We need to know what's going on, and we can see a lot in our students' faces. So a lot of times, I'm one of those really super visible principals. I love to be in the hallways. I love to interact with the students. But I can tell right away when something is not okay when I look at a student. When they have on their masks, when they have on their hoods, we can't see what's going on. I mean, you can tell a lot through eyes, but when you can really look at a student's face, it allows you an opportunity to pull that student to the side and say, listen, what's going on? I noticed that you don't seem okay. In which we really couldn't do that when everyone had on a mask. You couldn't see what was happening. So I personally appreciate the fact that we get to see the faces now. It allows us to really tap and tune into the students.
Yes, tap in. It also helps to build those relationships. My office is in the middle school wing, so my door's always open, or I'm in the hallway, and just with the kids not having the mask on and getting to be familiar with everybody's face, and I know most of the kids' names, so it's just exciting to have them in the hallway, happy, being able to stop by my office, have those good conversations, whether it's good, whether something's bothering them, and just like Mandy said, to happen to see them and know if something's wrong, kind of pull them to the side. That's been such a benefit. I know we talked a little bit about the students kind of getting back to normal. I noticed that I have some students that have come back that were homeschooled during the whole pandemic, and getting back to like their social piece, I noticed is a little bit harder for those students who actually haven't been in the building in 2 years, whose parents may have kept them home or homeschooled them for the last 2 years. So you guys were talking about the students like engaging and just knowing how to communicate and play together. I'm noticing that is just a little bit of an issue for the students just haven't been in the building at all. Most of our students have been in the building, whether it was like a few days a week or every day. But for those students who may have been home the entire pandemic, it's definitely an adjustment for them.
Let me ask a question because two of you are K-8, and Mandy is, high school. What's the strategy? Because that's Mandy has, that a smaller age group. You guys have from kindergarten, you got pre-K,
3-year-olds,
3 to
3-year-olds
14,
and 14
years old. How do you manage? What's the strategy? What's that like to have that vast age group of kids at such different ages of development? What's the strategy to make sure that all of those age groups are getting what they need to develop? Just to move from one, that's a big swing.
Right.
That's like being a pastor. You got from babies all the way up to seniors. So how is that? How you make that adjustment? What is the strategy in your mode of reaching those students?
So for me, I have the biggest elementary school in the district. We're a little over 700, about 700 and between 705 and 710 students. I have pre-K all the way through 8th grade, and the biggest thing. So
it's pre-K.
Yes.
What's after pre-K?
Kindergarten.
And then there's four-year kindergarten.
Pre-K, they're mixed now. There's 3s and 4s in one classroom, and previously it was pre-K 3, then pre-K 4, and kinder. But now the pre-Ks are mixed in one classroom. So the biggest thing is my staff, the support from the staff being visible, trusting my staff that they know what is expected of them and that they carry out those duties. And I feel like I can say that I have the best staff. I know Erica would say we will all say that. But leaning on your staff and building relationships and trusting them and knowing, they know that I have their back, that we have their back. So we'll go to back, we'll do what we have to do to make sure that they have the resources and the things that they need to be successful in the classroom. And that's the biggest thing, my staff, leaning on the staff to make sure that my students are well taken care of.
Yes, it's definitely a team effort. And also with the building, with that many different age groups, you get to learn the behaviors or the tendencies of the different groups. So like pre-K, you kind of know what you want to get from them. Then you have K to 2, then you know what issues you have with your 3 to 5, and then 6 to 8. So you kind of know what you need to target like each age group. And the staff is definitely your biggest help.
Right, from your guidance counselors, security. Even everybody
plays a part.
Yes.
You see security. Sometimes you have to play, mommy or babysitter, because pre-K, some of them most of them, of course, have never been to school, so they're crying and having fits. So you got to be nurturing, and that takes everybody to do so. So I have like security, and you have even custodian here and there, like building relationships with the students to really just help everybody navigate.
And Mandy?
Well, for us, it's interesting. So we do have because we don't have a middle school in our district.
Right. So
a lot of things that we notice, especially coming back now, we have 9th graders that really have had some struggle. They have struggled with the transition into high school, maybe having their hands held and not being as independent. When you come into the high school is huge. We have 1,700 students in the high school. About 1,700 students. it's like a mall. So when they walk in, they're like, wow, and independent. So right now we have a ton of support in place. Once again, I had to just give a shout out to Atlantic City High School staff. We have the best staff in the district. From our SEL coach, he does morning check-ins with some of our students that really struggle. This year, we expanded our teen center. When I first got to the high school, our teen center, they had an office, 2 offices upstairs for our social worker and our director. And I was like, we need to move this out. Students need really to have access to the teen center. Who's coming through the nurse's office to the back to the teen center? Like, we need a teen center. So we expanded the teen center this year, and our students can go there for counseling, for support, for case management. If they're having a bad day, there's something we in the back of the teen center called our Zen Den, where they can just go there, massage chairs in there, stress balls in there, and they can just go and talk to our director, our caseworkers in there. And so we just provide a ton of support. Outside of that, our administrators, we all have an open door policy. There's a line at my door every single day. Ms. Chapman, I need to talk to you. Ms. Chapman, this is going on. We are very cognizant of what's going on with our students, just based upon like what we talked about, looking at them. If we see that they're off, we pull them right away because we want to make sure that they get the support that they need. Our security guards, they have relationships with students. All of our staff, our teachers, if they notice something's going on, and really resiliency. We've been talking about resiliency and empowerment, but also patience. I've met with the staff. We have to be patient with students. They're coming back. They need support, and so we've just been intentional about creating spaces and safe spaces for students to put that support in place so that they have that what they need. And one of the things that we're also in the process of doing, we are planning this year to start a freshman academy next year, so that they'll have their own place in the school, like a school within a school model almost, to provide that additional support for the freshmen as they enter the building prior to so that they're not just walking into this big school with not as much support.
Well, I see that we have Principal Burrows on from MLK. She's watching. You know you were invited to come. Also, Principal Knox is on. He is the principal of Chelsea Avenue. That's K-8 as well.
Chelsea Heights.
Chelsea Heights. Is that K-8 as well?
Yes.
So, and so we're grateful to have all of you. And so now you owe us a visit, Reverend Burrows and Principal Knox. You owe us a visit, and so you got to come and talk to us as well and share your expertise. And please comment as well. And Greg Daniels, I see you watching all from South Carolina. Great word today. I watched you this morning on Facebook. Great word. One of the concerns for parents is safety. And, we've had so many issues across the country, and just not even a few weeks ago, right in Philadelphia, with the incident with the scrimmage right after, which was horrible. And I know that's something that is very important to all of you, to make sure our children are safe. But what are you saying to our parents who may have those concerns?
Before I even answer that question, I just want to go back. You mentioned some of the other principals that were online and watching. I just want to give a shout out to our Second Baptist Church educators and principals, and just the principals in general, because to be honest, just going back to our last question, we provide support for each other. Yes. So one of the things that I appreciate being a principal at the high school is the relationships that I have with the elementary, middle school principals, because I can pick up the phone and call Nicole and say, Nicole, I've noticed this about this student. Can you fill me in on any past history? I can call Mr. Knox. I can call Jody Burrows. I can call any of the principals, and those relationships really matter. And we provide a great, outside of our counselors, we provide a great support system for each other. And I just wanted to mention that. So shout out and kudos to you all, because every district doesn't have that type of system. Safety wise, what I would say to our parents is the safety of our students is paramount. We put a ton of safety precautions in place for our students. We make sure our security has beefed it up. I know at the high school alone, and it's just something that we do not play with. So just know when your students come into our schools, your students are our children too, right. And we treat them as such. We love them as such, and we do everything that we must do to ensure that they are safe.
And we, for me, it's safety 1st. Safety first. We have rules, we have policies and procedures that are in place that we have to do monthly. That's mandatory just to prepare us for any given situation. So we do practice. Our students are aware of what to do in certain situations. And, it's important to know that if there is something, parents will be notified ahead of time. If it's anything that comes up, you will be notified. But at the end of it all, safety is first, and we have things in place to navigate through them.
Yes, we do. We do drills every month, so the children are aware and know how to respond if there was a real emergency. I think conversation is also important. We try to talk to the kids about the importance of the drills. Like, you don't know if it's a drill or not. So each situation should be taken seriously.
Right.
And as parents, you can even have that conversation with your student at home about taking the drills that we do at school, seriously, just in case something does happen, that they are continue to stay safe.
And then one thing I'll add to that, one of the things that I tell students, I tell teachers, and I'm going to say this to parents as well. If you know something, you have to say something.
Yes.
We can only address what we are aware of. And a lot of times parents will say, well, why didn't you do something about this? Well, I didn't know about this. Well, I knew about it. Well, why didn't you say something? So if there's something that you know, you have to tell us so that we can address it. But we definitely put all safety measures in place for the students.
As you were talking about parents, how is parent participation, and what are you doing to engage more parents into, in the education of their children? What are you doing at each school?
I'm excited because one thing that we do have, of course, is our parent center, and it's been a little tough the last few years, like having to do things virtual. So I'm excited that parents are able to come back into the building now for in-person workshops. For even just for assemblies and just seeing your children. I think that's just a big aspect, a big positive aspect. Kids enjoy having their parents being able to come to see things. Also, I know that even our pre-K, I believe it's this week, I could be wrong, but I know they're having an in-person workshop for parents in the building. So we're definitely moving towards bringing our parents back in and just being able to be more involved in person in their child's education.
And with that being said, parents, when you see the workshops, please attend the workshops. Please come to the workshops, see what the school is offering. And it might be something at Sovereign that you need. You can come to Sovereign. My parents might see something at Pennsylvania Avenue or the high school that they might need. Please participate in these programs.
What type of workshops and what programs do you offer?
So at Sovereign Avenue, we have a very active parent center. We have a high English as a second language population, also known as ESL. We have ESL classes. We will be offering GED courses. Also, I have a deaf population. We want to do sign language classes because I think it's important. Sometimes the student is the only one person in the household who is hearing impaired. And it's important that the parents are able to communicate with them effectively, as well as the teachers and myself. Sometimes I feel bad that I don't know American Sign Language because I would like to communicate better with them. So I will be attending that class as well, so I can be more familiar with. That's a second language, to be more familiar with that. And also something very outstanding that our district is doing. We had a district leadership team meeting where we have involved a parent as well as a community member to be a part of our team to give their input on our goals and things that we're working on as a district.
And then at the high school, I'll say we're just super excited to have the parents back. We had our back to school night recently. We had freshman orientation. We had over 500 parents in the building that night. We were very excited about that. And then starting this month, I think our meeting is either the 16th or the 17th, but check the website. Parents, you have a voice and we want you to be involved. So we all have parent advisory committees as well, and they have monthly or bi-monthly meetings. So please check the website and come, because that's the opportune time for you to voice your opinion, for you to share your thoughts. And you don't have to do it on social media because we're there for you to answer your questions. And a lot of times, and I'm just going to say this, don't believe what you hear on social media, because a lot of what is posted is really not true. And a lot of times we want to respond, but we can't, and make the corrections, but we can't. But when you come to those parent meetings, you can ask those questions and you can share those concerns and you can get the answers that you're looking for. So please come out and support our workshops, our meetings, and be active within our schools.
Erica?
At our school, like we have the Parent Resource Center, pretty much similar to what they have down at Siren, just not as much as the ESL, because we have a small ESL population, but not as big as down there. I know our Parent Center, they offer education classes for the parents on different subjects. I know at one point they did like a grandparents meeting, and the grandparents would come in and do activities amongst each other and with the students. I believe we're trying to bring that back. So a lot of the workshops you'll notice are similar with the Parent Resource Centers across the district. I'm going to put this out there though. Our Parent Resource Center collects school uniforms. I believe it's across the district, and it's to help students that may come to school out of uniform or may not have a uniform. So if you have gently used uniforms that you would like to donate, we are accepting uniforms because our supply is getting low.
Principal Knox said the Freshman Academy is a good idea. Can you talk about that a little bit?
So when I was in Pleasantville, we actually started a freshman academy, which was super cool. And I'll just kind of share what that was like there. Since I started it there, we had all of the freshmen in one wing with a group of teachers. They all taught the freshmen, so they really had an opportunity to build those relationships. They were taught the school norms. They were taught how to write notes. They had a freshman course that just kind of taught you about the culture and the climate of the school. So prior to just kind of walking in and just being wowed by this school, it's a lot to come in as a freshman when your hand has been held from K through 8 with the same teachers, or one teacher, to come to a high school. Now you have to switch classes and you're walking from one building to one side of the building all the way to the other side of the building, where in middle school, if you fail a class, you're still promoted to high school. Where in high school, if you fail a class, you have to take it over. You don't get to graduate if you fail that class. And so that's something that students need to know freshman year. Is something that they need support with. So if a student is failing, they need that support right away. And so we are in a process of planning for a freshman academy for next year. So we're going to go and tour some schools that have solid freshman academies. We have some exceptional ideas, some phenomenal staff, and you'll hear more to come. One of the things that I do like, one of our initiatives at the high school for this year is just to bridge that gap between our elementary schools, our middle schools, and our high school. So we'll be communicating with our principals and meeting with our principals so that they can be a part of the plan as well. There are some things that you know about the students coming into the high school that we may not know unless you tell us. So we'll be meeting with the principals as well, having some vertical articulation meetings.
You know, there was, and I think I made mention to the superintendent not long ago when we had her on. She's an excellent job. There used to be a time when schools were adopted by companies and churches to help them, with things they might need and various support. Are those things that you guys are thinking about now?
I can speak for my school. Last year, Hard Rock actually reached out to us, and they, I guess you would call it, kind of sponsored us, and they helped us. They bought so many coats for our students. We had a coat drive with them, and one more activity, which I can't think of off the top of my head. They've already reached out soon as school started. Like, what do you need? How many coats do you need? And, we're excited to partner with you again. No, we have Operation Warm, too. Okay. So we had like a surplus. We actually have extra coats left because we have Operation Warm, which you guys have, too, I believe, on Richmond Avenue, where we are allotted a certain amount of money and we can order coats for the students. So I have that on top of Hard Rock, kind of. And I guess it's because they're in our neighborhood.
Do you have any larges?
I do.
So for us at Sovereign, we didn't have anyone actually adopt our school, but we do have people that are very organizations that are very generous. We have the Friends of Music, the Bay Atlantic Symphony, They are very involved with our music program at Sovereign. We also have the Chelsea Beautification Project. They do a lot of different projects with us. T-shirt design contests, beautifying the Chelsea neighborhood, and so that was very helpful. And we also had donations from Ocean. They gave school supplies this year.
And at the high school, we don't have a sponsor of the whole school, but similar to the others, we do have some that, step up to meet the need. So we've had sponsors come and pay the full college education of students, which is major, especially for families and students that can't afford it. So I'm going to say we have not because we ask not. So we ask for those partnerships. We need those things. The amount, like the community partnerships are just as important as those parent relationships. And we're all in this together. The product of Atlantic City High School, they come out into the community. We're all in this together, and the same for all of the schools. We all live here, so we should all be partnering together. And we do have a lot of organizations that support us, and we thank you for that support. And we expect others to step up and provide some support for our students.
Absolutely. I'm a product of the Atlantic City school system, elementary through high school, and I just remember being in elementary school, and I feel like at one point each casino had an elementary school, and they would do like amazing things with us. So it would be nice to get back to something like that for all of our schools.
Well, I think it would be really great to have more organizations support our youth, and our, because I think it's, to establish it, let the youth know that we are behind them, and we are, we're looking forward to their advancement. And we all need to play our part in it. Someone just said on here that it takes a village to raise a child.
Right, it does.
And I think that's extremely important. I think this is Dr. Peterson said that Pleasantville High School always set the standard. So,
that's because I was there.
And Dr. Chapman is hoorahing in the back.
And I am a graduate of Pleasantville High School. I'm proud graduate.
But but I think that's really great that, and I may mention this to the superintendent. In terms of that, the school district has been very favorable to homegrown, and you guys have been local. You know the school system. You know the area. The people know you. You know parents. They can reach out to you in the community, and I think that's very, very important. When we went to school, people didn't commute in from 20, 30, 40 miles. They lived in the community. And because they lived in the community, they knew our parents, and so there was accountability to the students, and as well as accountability to teachers, because parents could have access to the teachers, and I think that's really, really important. And I'm really, really proud of each and every one of you, and you're doing a phenomenal job, and we're just thankful. And we're looking forward to having others on here, Principal Knox and Principal Burrows. We expect to have you on as well, and others to come and share. So we really appreciate you coming. Please give some closing remarks. What you like to do to challenge us or challenge the students, go right ahead.
So I just want to go back and say I too am a product of Atlantic City Public Schools, and as you see,
and that's because they kicked her out of private school.
Yeah, right. But as you see, our school district is a very good school district, and that's something that we need to put out there. So a shout out to all of our Vikings and graduates of Atlantic City High School. One of the things that I just want to do is share some of the positive things that are going on in our school district. One of the things about our district, I feel like we get a negative rep in the community, and I don't know why, but it's our responsibility to put out our good news, because we do have the best staff, as we've all shared. We have the best education. Our students go to the top colleges, and I want to share a few things that are new this year at the high school. We have 17 new courses, so we've been really expanding. We have a new teen center, as I've shared, to provide support for our students. We've renovated our library to create another space for students, and it is beautiful. Please come and see. We have a new weight room for our students. We're renovating in the process. We're beginning renovations of our auditorium starting in October 31st. So we've really been putting things in place for the students, and I'm super excited about it. What I will say is, first of all, pray for us. Leading in education is not easy, especially in this time. So those continued prayers are important. Partner with us. We need your money. We need your visibility. And I mean, there's a ton of money in the school district, but whenever somebody can donate something for our kids, it always makes a difference. And we need those community partnerships and those resources that you can provide that we may not have access to. So if you do have them, share them with us. We're going to take them. And just continue to share our good news, because there's a lot of goodness going on in the Lane City Public School District. And I just want to give a shout out to our superintendent, Dr. LaQuetta Small, because she did come in with a vision, and we're just happy to be able to support that vision. And she allows us to do our own thing and kind of navigate our own way, and we appreciate that as well.
Absolutely. For me, I would say, in closing, as Mandy said, please keep us in your prayers. It's not easy, but we are working. Our teachers are working. Our staff is working very hard for the success of your child, your student, our students. And parents, I charge you with being active. Play an active role. Come, talk to us if there's any issues. We're asking you not to revert to social media. Come to us, share the good news, be partners. We're partners. We're working together to just bridge the gap, to give our students experiences that they may not have anywhere else. But my charge is just to partner with us, to go through this journey with us. We're all working together. Trust us with your child. Know that we have their best interests at heart, and that we're working hard for them and for you.
Yes, absolutely. Number one, like they said, please pray for us, because this is not an easy job. Although we all enjoy our jobs, we definitely need the support. Definitely parental participation is a big must. We look forward to having you back in the buildings. We look forward to your commentary, your suggestions, letting us know what's going on with your student, being involved in their education, not just when there's something wrong. We like to hear the good things too. And I charge my teachers too to have that relationship with the parents, to let them know when their students are doing positive things, not just hearing from us when there's something negative. Partnering together, just making it a great, successful school year. And of course, number one is just supporting our students in all ways possible.
I got to say, we really appreciate you all coming on and representing Atlantic City High School, Pennsylvania Avenue, and Sovereign Avenue. And I know you all noticed they have on their school regalia, and I'm asking for a T-shirt or a sweatshirt. I got to have one as well, and maybe that'll be a big fundraiser. Everybody who went to those various schools, do a T-shirt day fundraise to to help supplement the kids, what their needs are. So that might be a good idea. Let's do a big rally where all the schools are, and do a competition. Even Pleasantville, let Pleasantville get in there. 'Cause I see Dr. Peterson is really commenting today, and I don't know who Dr. Snell is. She must have meant to say Dr. Small. Yes, Dr. Small. You better make that correction, Jody, in a hurry. If that's who you were trying to, I'm gonna blame it to autocorrect.
Yes.
But we're really grateful for all of you coming and sharing with us today. I know it was very informative to all of you, and they are in our community, are accessible, and they're doing a wonderful, wonderful job.
And we love your children. They're our children
they
too.
are ours when they come into the building. We love them.
We love them, and we love you.
Yes.
Yeah, we do.
And you love all of them.
All
All
of them.
of
We
them.
really do. We really
They
do.
love us back.
They do. They do.
That's wonderful. That's great to hear. And I just remembered after all this time, the Lord brought it back to me what I was going to announce. Next Sunday, at the 3 o'clock hour, we're going to be celebrating with Reverend and Mrs. Batu Mukinai on his pastoral anniversary. We're inviting everybody to come and share and support them during their anniversary. So we look forward to seeing you not only at Back to Church Sunday on Sunday morning, everybody I haven't seen. We look forward to seeing you next Sunday at the 11 o'clock hour, 8 o'clock hour. And then we want all of you to come and support us and support our good friend and our brother, a son of our ministry, Reverend and Mrs. Batu Mukinai. So God bless him. God bless you. What was that?
Is that his church? We're here.
Yes, it's at his church at CC Christ You know,
In
we always have
Pleasantville.
Christ World Missionary Baptist, whatever it is, CCW, CCCCW, you know, whatever that is, you know what the name of that church is. Y'all know where it is. It's right across from Jennings Funeral Home. I'm giving him a plug right across there off Dowdy Drive, Dowdy Avenue. Come on and be a part of that. And I'll get that name right by Sunday. Don't worry about it. Sorry, Reverend. But we thank all of you for coming and sharing. Please do me a favor. Make sure y'all tell Sister Days y'all missed the last 2 Sundays and she need to get back where she need to be. And your encouragement will get it there. All right? Bless everybody. Good night and have a blessed day. See you on Wednesday.